Hello, traders. Happy Sunday. I'm Clayton Allen. I'm the host of the Day Trading Plumber and founder of Allen FX. So, I apologize. Last Sunday I was up chasing elk around Colorado, so I was not able to get my Sunday setups. But we did take some trades. And on my new Journeyman signal service, we posted a 5.25% profit gain last week, and we were flat in the market, so we had the same equity gain. And on my Wally OG, my trade copy service with my robot, we posted a 2.1% profit and the same equity. We kept our drawdown flat for the week. So pretty exciting to be up hunting and still post those type of returns. That's what Forex can do for you, or trading, but only once you know what you're doing. So let's jump right into our Sunday setups. Okay, so as you guys know, I use tradingview.com, and my support and resistance or supply and demand zones are 2 weeks old now, so we should see some good movement. I'm hoping to see some really good trades this week. And just so you know, I don't pre-screen and look at these charts. I just have what you're seeing when I open it is what I had on from the prior week as far as support and resistance or supply and demand zones on the daily. Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't trade from the daily all the time. Sometimes I do. But what I'm looking for is a supply and demand zone on the daily, and then when I actually execute the trades, I'm looking for a smaller time frame confirmation move that will ultimately get me into a buy or sell trade. And, you know, when you're on my Journeyman Signals program, you get a lot more in depth of why I'm taking the trade. And even on my free service, the 2 or 3 trades that we take that week or more, I post the smaller time frame snapshot of the confirmation or what I was looking for. All right, let's get started. So Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so we're in a downward trend. We've kind of flattened out here. So that's where you can see price has tested this bullish zone. And you can see 2 weeks ago it tested and we had this great pop up. And then now we have this bearish zone identified here. And you can see price just keeps flirting with it. But we're starting to consolidate and we're breaking through this trend line we have drawn here. So what I'm looking at here is I would still be, what I want to see is price stretch all the way up into this bearish zone, maybe retest this high, and get into this zone. I'm bearish. Now, what we got to be careful of is price getting into the zone, breaking a new high, and come up to this R2 level. Now, if price does get all the way to this R2, I'm super bearish here for a small move, at least back down to this bearish zone. So what we're going to do on this pair is we are going to turn it orange because nothing's active in it. And what we're going to do is wait for price, see what price does on a smaller time frame if it gets up to this high, this former high here, and breaks into it. What we're going to look for there is a smaller time frame confirmation that we're bearish at that level. If not, we'll get bearish again at this R2 level. All right, let's go to Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, again, this is all from 2 weeks ago because I wasn't able to kind of update these while I was running around in the mountains last Sunday. But it did exactly what we were guessing. Broke through this wedge pattern. Then this became a bullish pattern. So after this bull, we looked for a pullback, touched right in the bottom of our bullish zone last week, and then went bullish. Now it's kind of resting on this R2. So you know, I think we're going to be in an upward trend. We could probably get rid of this. And let's move our zones here. I don't want to be bullish again now that we kind of established. I want to be bearish if price gets up to this level, these former tops. If you guys can see that. If it gets up to this level, I'll look for bearish, see if it's going to respect that resistance level. And then, you know, I'm bullish again if it comes back down to this pivot, last week's pivot here, and starts to respect this support line. Do you guys see how I'm identifying supply and demand zones based on the daily? And of course, price isn't giving us much to work off right now, or at least on a daily. But if we drop down to a smaller time frame, we had divergence here. It's kind of come down. If we draw a support line, now you can see like on a 15-minute, it looks bullish, or look for a retest and go bullish up to this level. All right, let's go to Australian dollar JPY. All right, let's go back to our daily. So you can see we've kind of identified these support and resistance based on this downward, and it started consolidating. And then we had a breakout of this resistance level right here. So now this is going to be bullish on the daily. Yeah, babe. Okay, can you go wash them? I'm recording my thing. Remember how I said I needed a half hour? Sorry about that. I got the kids today. So now what we're looking at is, let's switch our bullish and bearish zones, because now we're kind of in an upward trend. So we're going to draw a trend line. Give ourselves a little perspective here. We broke through, so now what we're going to look for is, I want to be bullish if it comes down to test this support. And I want to be bearish at this R2 level here. We could even probably draw a resistance channel type. So if we get up into this area, we're bearish. Get back down to test this. If it respects it, we're bullish. So right now there's no trade. So let's turn this one. We're not really close to it. So that one's orange. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. All right. So what we have here is we're in our bearish zone that we've identified. We're touching an R2 line. And we got our bullish zone down here. It's kind of a tight one. And we got divergence on the daily. So this one's green. Here's why. If we go down to a smaller time frame, let's go down to a 1 hour. You can see we've almost kind of formed a double top. We got divergence on a 1 hour. We're in our zone. We're resting on this R2. It's a highly probable move about to happen, at least down to this pivot level. So let's go ahead and put a prediction on here. Down to this pivot level, we'll put I use mental stops, but for the case of this, we'll look at putting our stop above that former high. And let's go back to our daily. Wow. All right, so here's our trade here. Let's make it bigger so we can see it. So we got divergence posting on the daily. You can see last time divergence, we had this little dip. I like it down to this pivot, at least the take profit 1 there. Take profit 2 would be down to our bullish zone. So this one I'm going to leave green because price is in one of our zones, and we have a smaller time frame confirmation of divergence. So on the open today, I'm going to be looking at this pair, and then possibly by tonight, after the open jitters are gone and spreads kind of calm back down on the Sydney Open tonight, this might be a really good trade. Let's look at Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Okay, so price got into our bearish zone. Now we're starting to see a break down. It broke these lows. We're kind of sitting at this. So again, I still like this pair short. We're a little late that we'd like to be, but it's a little close to the last week's pivot. So it's not a jump in right now trade. Unfortunately, it would have been up here. Now we want to see what it does at this pivot line. If we see a break down to that pivot line, it's a good short down to this bullish zone. So, we just missed it. This looks like Friday. Friday we tested this resistance that we had identified, and we would be in a pretty good profitable trade if we took that trade. I'm going to turn this one yellow because we have some more action that needs to happen before we take this trade. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. All right. So on our daily, we kind of have this really strong support line or resistance line right here. The price is over and over and over respected. And now we have this kind of upward channel. Tested this pivot. I kind of like this pair bullish where it's sitting right now. And if we see it retesting this bullish zone and respecting it, we'll buy it up to this level. Can you guys see that? Okay. So this one is orange because some action needs to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it green because we're pretty close. And I want to watch this tonight. And if we get a strong push back down and respect this trend line we drew, I'm bullish up to this really strong resistance. Then, if we see it respecting there, I'm going to sell it back down. Canadian dollar, JPY. All right, so you can see this worked out perfectly. We have our channel that price was respecting on the daily. We had a strong bearish breakout. And then we had the retest. And then we should have been bullish this pair last week. Now, what we have here, if we draw a Fibonacci retracement from this pull here, we had a retracement almost touched this 0.5 in our bullish zone, and then we had kind of a consolidating end of the week. I still like this pair bullish, especially if it stretches back down in here. We very well could see a continuation of this well beyond this zero line, maybe even back up here, this R2 level. So this one we want to look for a bullish move on a smaller time frame. I'm going to leave it yellow. Just missed it last week. We came back down on a retest. Boom, that would have been a perfect place to enter. Now we got to kind of look for another confirmation move, but I still like this one at least back up to this level if we get back in here. Swiss franc, JPY, kind of the same look, right? And we left our Fibonacci on here because what we are looking for is a pullback to the 0.38 or even the 0.5. So this one, we had this little bit of a pullback and consolidation. Again, if we see another push down in this bullish zone, we'll look at a smaller time frame and look for a bullish move. Now, we're kind of seeing prices starting to respect this resistance level, and we kind of double topped a little bit here. So, again, we want to be patient and disciplined, see what it does in our bullish zone, and if we start to see some smaller time frame confirmation, boom, we go bullish. If we see it break through, we might be bearish down to some of these levels. Euro AUD. Ooh. So we had a break of this trend line last week. Big bearish candle. So we are now bearish here. Let's move our I'm not gonna be bullish again. Whew, what do we got here? Till maybe one of these levels. So what I'm going to wait for with this pair, we had a strong breakout. It's sitting on S2. I want to see a retracement back up into our bearish zone, respect to this former trend, this support line being resistance, and we're going to be bearish. And this could be a big trade, because if we see this retest and we get bearish, we take a sell trade, we have, good distance to these support levels down here. This is a really good one right here. So good look at this pair. Again, we want to wait for a retest up into our bearish zone and not get caught up with missing out, right? So we want to see the retest, take a sell here. Euro CAD. So now we can start to see we had a breakout, it's not really producing much, but now what I see is we have kind of this consolidation level that we're forming here. Let's put one on the bottom here. Bam. So price kind of bounding in between here. So our bullish zone here, if you could see, if you could see that, we're kind of in the middle of our two zones. So we're going to wait and see what we're going to do on this pair. Okay, let's go Euro Swiss franc. All right. So price came up into our bearish zone. Respected. Would have been great to take this trade on the backside here. Now it kind of went down to this pivot. So what we're going to want to see is a retest and a respect, form a double top with price, and then we're really bullish all the way down to our bearish down to our bullish zone here. Just hasn't pulled yet. So we're going to leave this one orange. Euro GBP. Okay, we had this head and shoulders. We had a break of the neckline. This was a really good trade. Now we're kind of waiting for price to find its way down to our bullish zone, and then we'll trade this pair back up. But we could get rid of some of this. Yeah, like I said, this could be it. If we see a break up from this point, I like it up to the pivot. But I'd love to see a test back down to this bullish zone. And, let's not forget, this is the British pound euro. So Brexit is going to play havoc on this pair. And we're moving into December month. We got to be cautious in December. Liquidity goes down, less people trading, some erratic moves can happen. So this pair, I'm definitely waiting for a strong push back down to this bullish zone before I get too crazy with it. Euro JPY. We had a breakout of this consolidation. We have an upward trend now. I would almost feel better bullish a little bit further down. Coming back down and testing this support line. We see a smaller time frame confirmation. We'll be bullish. All right, Euro NZD. Again, We're in consolidation here. Price is bounding between the support and resistance. We kind of have a bearish and bullish zone that's still holding true, at least for now, but price is in the middle. Let's look at our favorite. All right. So you could see this is a trade we took last week. Price double topped in our bearish. We took a sell, and it's well past our TP1 and well on its way to our TP2. So I closed the trade. I took profit at TP1 last week. Maybe some of you kept on to TP2. Good for you. But again, I'm going to be looking to be bearish in this area or possibly all the way down here. Let's go to Euro US dollar. All right, so we had a breakout, a retest, but now it's pushed back down. So I'm not bullish again until down here. Let's see what price is doing, if it's going to respect this former support. Okay, so price last week double topped into our bearish zone. We missed it, but now we're coming down to, we want to wait for it to come down and test this support and be in our bullish zone before we take a buy trade. British pound, Swiss franc. Ooh, we're just still sitting in this bearish zone. We took a trade. This is an open trade from last week and waiting for it to break back down into our bullish zone. Okay, so this is, British pound JPY. We have a trade right there that we took last week. I think we closed it for profit because we were in profit before Friday, and I definitely don't like leaving British pound JPY trades on over the weekend. But this might be a really good look again this week, down to our take profit 1 and take profit 2. What I'd like to see is a strong pullback into this bearish top, form that double top, and we'll be really, really good on this one. British pound NZD. You can see we've got our bearish zone. We're right in the middle, so we're going to kind of wait on this one to see what happens. British pound US dollar. Again, looks like we're just getting back down to our retest of this former support. And we'll see what it does at this level. If we get a smaller time frame confirmation, I'll be bullish all the way up to this bearish zone. NZD CAD. So, looks like we had a bust or a false breakout of this resistance line. We could have got bearish. Now it's coming back down. This might be a good trade still to sell down to this bearish zone. We'll have to see what the open gives us in maybe the first 2 days of the week. If this continues to look bearish past this level, I like it still all the way down to our bullish zone. NZD CAD. Kind of keep just retesting this bearish zone, or NZD Swiss franc, sorry. So if we see another push into the zone, look, it's respected it pretty much for 2 weeks. So another push into the zone, I'd be bearish. If not, be patient, let price get down to this zone and take a strong look at a buy. NZD JPY, same thing, tested. I'd love to see this come up and retest, and then we have a really strong sell. If not, I still kind of like it. If it gets past this pivot level and still shows bearish, like it, bearish all the way down to this bullish zone. NZD USD. Let's turn that one orange. All right, so we're in this trade. It double topped on the daily in our bearish zone. Boom, sell. We're holding this trade all the way down to the bullish zone here. Love it. See how it broke through the pivot last week? We're in a great trade here, and try to hold it all the way to this bearish zone and still some great profit. USD CAD. All right. So we had a break. I was looking for a retest. It blew back up. So now we are only bearish if it gets back up into this zone. We might be bullish if we see a retest of this zone. So, yeah, we might be starting to form a downward trend here. You got a lower low. This might be a pull up. So, just we don't have enough yet. This could have been a false breakout. Big move. But I like where I have our support and resistance or our supply and demand zones. I like this bearish here. If we see another pullback down to this, I'd be bullish for that continuation. US dollar Swiss franc. Ooh, we got a W pattern here. So let's get rid of this arrow. We got a break of this trend, and now we're kind of consolidating, but now it looks like we're pushing to be a new high. So we're definitely not bearish there. Let me put a new box. Let's just put it right here. Bullish. So I would definitely be bullish at this zone. We have a break of this high, which kind of gives you the confirmation that we're going to keep going. So it's a little bit of a risky trade, but maybe if we see a good pullback to this area, maybe draw a fib on this impulse zone here, or this impulse leg, and if you see a good pullback and a confirmation at the 0.38 or 0.5 fib levels, great time to be bullish for a continuation of this pair up. One thing we got to be cautious of is we had this breakout, and now it could just stall out at this level and then just start bounding between these two areas. So we're going to wait a little bit on this pair and kind of give it some time to tell us what it wants to do. All right, our last pair, USD JPY. So we kind of identified this area as bearish. I took a couple rollover trades last week and either broke even on them or had a couple in some moves on a smaller time frame, and I closed them. But now we're starting to see, we're in this little bit of an upward trend here, and we broke through this level. So I don't know. I'm still somewhat bearish here, especially if it comes up and hits this R2. But I'm in Wally's in a few trades, so I got to look for a really tough spot, really good spot, and nail a rollover trade, because we may be on an upward trend for quite a while. And I'll go ahead and draw what I'm starting to see here. You got a trend line. If we get rid of some of this noise. Oh, what just happened? Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. All right, so let's draw this trend line like we were. Let's get rid of some of this noise. So I want to be bearish for getting this R2. I'll be bullish if we get on this trend line. However, we still kind of seeing a stall out here. Not true break. But we could be in this upward trend and it could go as high as this level, which highly probable. So because I'm already in sell trades with Wally, I've got to find a really good spot to hit a retracement back down to this level, and I need to size that position to limit my loss on those earlier trades. And when we get to this bullish zone would be my target of where I'd have to take profit on that rollover trade, and hopefully it's enough to close all of them with a minimal loss, or hopefully with a little bit of profit. But we'll just see. This is the fun of trading, is if you get caught in some trades and obviously they're not detrimental to my account, and I still have some hope that I'll be able to catch a good retracement of this upward trend and possibly close a few of them and limit my risk on it. All right. Well, that concludes today's Sunday setups. Catch the Day Trading Plumber Show anywhere where you get podcasts. We're getting some great feedback on it. And I do have a free signal service, so you can follow along with 2 or 3 trades a week, and you'll get all the analysis you get on this posted on there. And then here really soon, maybe next week, I'm going to launch my paid manual signal service, my Journeyman, where we take a lot more trades and we have a lot more in-depth reasoning on a smaller time frame why I'm taking those trades. And then, as always, I have my trade copy signal service, where once you're set up, you don't have to do anything. It just mirrors my exact robotic Wally trades right on your account. Thanks. Have a great Sunday.